optimistic about James Bond. Now, what do I mean about being strangely optimistic about James Bond? In that, the case scenario where it's they want to make good James Bond by being James Bond is not inconceivable, right? I would give it... Well, I really don't know. Okay, this is what everything depends on, right? If, what's the name? The failure at Amazon wants to be a success, right? I think there's a chance they do, right? And I think there's a chance that the changing cultural tides may come just in the fucking nick of time for James fucking Bond, right? I know. Or is she genuinely like a card waving ideologue, right? That is the question, right? Now, Amazon on its upside, which, by the way, is strongly rumored that's where Doctor Who's going. I just heard that about an hour or so ago, right? Because Sony has a deal with Amazon, and so it might revert because Sony owns Bad Wolf, so it might revert there. And I don't know. I have no idea. But James Bond, I think... Amazon, I should say, they have a good track record with the spy genre. In all fairness, and again, I understand they did Lord of the Rings, right? And they did it again. And I haven't seen the second season because I can't do it. I'm sorry. The first season was awful. Oh, it was awful. If you haven't seen it, don't. It's as bad as they say it is, right? It's work. You can't believe how bad it is, and expensive. Oh, we've had that with Doctor Who as well. Hey. Most expensive Doctor Who ever made, least popular. You might want to take a hint from that. But Amazon do have a good track record with the spy genre. They have Reacher, they have the Jack Ryan series. Both of those I haven't seen. Very well received, and I understand not woke, right? Even though the Reacher actor is super woke, apparently. Right. I watch Invincible. That's not woke. I don't feel it's woke. I think it's a bit dull, season 3, but I don't think it's woke. I think The Boys went woke for a season, and they have a propensity to what it wavers. I think the spin-off, the X-Men Mutant School spin-off thing, that I don't think that was woke. So, it's not like everything they do is shit. Right, so there is that going for it in its favor, and the spy genre. Now, the real question is, one of the questions. The real question is again: is she a genuine ideologue or is she riding a wave? If she's riding a wave, we're safe, right? It's the other question is, why did Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson step down? Now, everybody assumes, they were strong-armed, right? Or some nefarious daring do. I don't know. But what if? And again, I don't know if they had leverage, they would have used it by now, right? So I don't know what new leverage there could be. I mean, they're releasing the Epstein Island list, from what I understand. But I don't know what new dirt could they have. Who knows? And honestly, I don't know them, right? I don't know the Broccoli family. I know they were a family, right? So maybe they had a nice family dynamic, and Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson have had a normal marriage, right? And haven't fucked around on each other, right? And been awful. Maybe they actually have a real marriage. Who knows, right? And maybe they don't have any dirt on them. And it's not outside the realm of possibility. That's my point. It's that couldn't be. It could be. Doesn't sound crazy, right? Maybe. Okay, so apparently the riff was because the Amazon people called James Bond content. We're so excited for your content, right? And killed it instantly, right? It killed it absolutely. And they from the Broccoli's point of view, they wanted to do a cinematic franchise, which I agree with them will probably be a bad idea. If you want to do a cinematic spy franchise, they should really, You know, you could launch different. You could launch like the Saint in the Saint cinematic universe with James Bond. That's like you could get away with, I think. So that has its own, and you can put them in the Saint, and that'd be kind of cool. But it's like it's a whole different universe. And like I don't think there's enough there, right? Really, to authentically. I mean, who wants to see a Felix Leiter movie? You know, not really. And you could, but it seems so false, right? It really does. Now, what I do think that, look, if you want to have a second cinematic line, then old James Bond is the way to go, starring Pierce Brosnan, right? Like Silver Fox, Pierce Brosnan as old James Bond. Fuck me. I would watch the fuck out of that. Wouldn't you? Yes. Yes, you would, right? Yes, you would. And it's different enough they could differentiate it. That you want to have a second franchise, fine, right? And then you want to introduce a sexy female spy, do that, and if it works, it works. I don't know. Maybe would an Ana de Armas spy movie work? I mean, she's fucking hot. She's a good actress, and she likes being sexy. Okay, if the script is good, right? You got to have who would be good to write that then? Who's done really cool spy stuff? I don't know. Okay, fuck me. Ana de Armas prisoner. That would be crazy. Okay, that's a very good idea. You want to put, okay, you have James Bond and the Saint and the prisoner all in the same cinematic universe. Fucking awesome. I'm sorry. If you want to franchise it that way, I actually think it could work. Right, I really do. And then you can do like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like they come together, because then it's just fun and silly. But totally put it all in the same music. Again, spitballing, but again, that would work, I think. And I like my Silver Fox James Bond. That would fucking be awesome. I would love that, right? I would love that. And I would go to the movies to see that, and I would be excited about it. And I don't think it would taint the James Bond cinematic franchise. I think it would enrich it, frankly, right? And the other one's the Saint, the prisoner. They're different enough. They have their own identities. It doesn't tank the franchise. That's basically it. You got to go in. It can't come out of Bond, right? It can be added to it, I think. If it in moderation. Wouldn't you love to see like a Saint Danger Man James Bond match? The Avengers. Can you put the Avengers in the... No, you can't. I'm sorry. No, I disagree. I don't think you can put the Avengers is colourful, bright, and very silly. Right? It's not Jason Bourne, right? No, you can't be... Well, you could Jason Bourne the Saint. You could Jason Bourne the Prisoner. What, me? No, Jason Bourne, but it has to be some like time-bending, weird shit like Christopher Nolan. Like I always wanted to rewatch Tenet because I had no idea what the fuck's going on. Right, like none, and I gotta sit down and rewatch it because I'm sure because he's a good filmmaker, for goodness sake, and the way he tells story with time is fascinating, right? He always does. I think his Odyssey movie is going to be interesting, and it's got Elliot Page in it, and she just kind of makes me want to retch. Anyway, don't wave your mental disability in my face and expect me to applaud. It makes me sad. Anyway, mental illness in your face. Anyway, if you want to explain that, but again, I think if you want to like take the James Bond franchise and split it out and make a money penny movie at Felix, that I don't think would work. Right? What I do think would work is a television universe with those cinematic characters. I think, especially with the Daniel Craig crew, but all the crews have been very good. But the last Money Penny, the whole backstory they had with him shooting Bond in Skyfall, she made her a really interesting character, and I would watch the fuck out of a TV show, like an 8-part spooks slow horses like TV show, spy show. That'd be really good. Like set in and around London. I'd watch a prestige series. Ralph Fiennes M show. Wouldn't that be great? Like him and Biff Tanner. Well, not Biff Tanner. Back to the Future. Bill Tanner. Wouldn't that be a weird thing? Wouldn't that be weird? right? If James Bond movie, instead of Bill Tannen, who worked in the Situation Room at MI6 with Bond, I'm trying to get Bond on the phone now, sir. Right? Like, what's Moneypenny's job? Moneypenny, get us Bond. Okay, I'm trying to get Bond on. Like, why do I need another one? I would like all that. It's like in Galaxy Quest, where Scotty Weaver, her only job was asking the computer. Anyway. But I think you have a lot of scope for that and you could do a mini-series about the villain in the Bond movie and I think that's really what they should have done with No Time to Die, which was way too long, right? And obviously shot to be a launch vehicle for Loretta Lynch's series, and which was clearly cancelled and reshot, right, and re-edited. But once you take the central premise, driving thrust out of a script, you can't build it up again, right? You can't put it back together again. Captain America, New World Order, same thing. Like, you can't put it back together again. Once you got to rebuild from scratch. That's real. Again, I hope people would get that lesson in Hollywood. Anyway, but you could have done like a mini-series about the villain, right? So that like it ties it in. Right, there's a lot of scope for that, I think. Especially if it was on Amazon, you watch it on Amazon Prime as a lead into the movie, get you excited about it. That's a very clever idea, right? Also, I think they could do a television series, mini-series of Bond, being very set in period and authentic to the books, right? Like an 8-part Bond Casino Royale series set in whatever 1955 or whatever it is. Right, with Bond being like being like, who did he want him to be like? Noel Coward, I think. Right, something like that. Right, that'll be a really weird, interest. I mean, again, I think that'll be fascinating. I think you have scope for that. So anyway, they wanted to open up the franchise, which I understand. That's what they paid for. Maybe the Broccoli stepped down because they were given a plan that they liked, and they're like, look, we're in the fucking 80s. Maybe it's how old is Barbara Broccoli? I mean, she's clocking on. Barbara Broccoli is she's 64 years old. Okay, she's not clocking on, right? Man, Michael Wilson must be way older. Yeah. What's her sibling? I thought it was her husband. I had he's 83, right? Yeah, he does look ancient. And look, they've been very good stewards of the Bond franchise. I was very opposed to Daniel Craig. I'm like, what? That looks ridiculous, right? That looks absolutely ridiculous. But man, he won me over instantly. The style of it and his take on it, I thought was excellent, right? Again, look, we're going to know with the casting, right? Bottom line, we're going to know with the casting. Bottom line, when we find out what their plans are, we're going to know, right? And then, I don't know. Look, there's a possibility they might not want to fail. They have form of not failing. So I don't want to tell you. It's, I think you have room to be optimistic. Right, without being insanely saccharine, I think you have room to be optimistic until we hear. And look, I always err towards optimism, and I'm often proved wrong. I mean, look, not with Superman. Right? I think Superman's gonna be fucking awesome. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.